Gathering the sons. Between abandonments. And denials. Matthew 21 verses 1 to 11, Mark 11 verses 1 to 10, Luke 19 verses 28 to 40, John 12 verses 12 to 16. Welcome to our channel that compares gospel topics and Franciscan sources. For a more complete overview of our human, cultural and spiritual proposal, we suggest you visit the website juvie.art. Juvie.art. Jesus is sold by Judas to the chief priests. Abandoned by the disciples. And denied by Peter. In this context, Christ celebrates Easter. Previously the Son of God, already suffering betrayal. And the abandonment that many would have been guilty of. He had cried over the city. Who stones the prophets sent to it? One night Francis had a dream that almost recalled Jesus' lament over Jerusalem. Christ had wept over the holy city. Instigator of the killing of prophets. And to have stoned those who are sent to it. The price of which would have been a deserted house. The unity betrayed and vilified. Would have generated squalor and abandonment. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that kills the prophets. And stone those who were sent to you. How many times I wanted to gather your sons. The way a hen gathers her chicks under her wings. And you did not want. The saint then saw a small, black hen, similar to a domestic dove, with legs and feet covered in feathers. She had many chicks, and no matter how much they flew around her, they could not all gather under her wings. When he awoke, the man of God resumed his thoughts, personally explained the vision. The hen, he commented, is me, small in stature and dark in complexion. And I must unite the innocence of life with the simplicity of a dove. Virtue, which is rarer in the world. The more quickly it rises to the sky. The chicks are the friars, grown in number and grace. That the strength of Francis cannot protect from the disturbance of men and the attacks of evil tongues. Sources 6:10. For this reason the minimum placed the order under the protection of the Church. Because for him following Christ meant walking in the footsteps of the bride of the Lord. The poor man had special concern for his brethren, trying to keep them in the bond of unity, for which Christ became a sacrificial lamb, sacrificed for the salvation of all the people. In fact, in the letter to the faithful, he expresses himself thus. The will of his Father was this, that his blessed and glorious Son, whom he gave to us and was born for us, offered himself, through his own blood, as a sacrifice and victim on the altar of the cross. Not for himself, for through him all things were created, but as a propitiation for our sins, leaving us an example, that we should follow in his steps. Sources 184. In love with Christ in everything, even in the infirmities that struck him. Francis wanted to follow the poverty and example of the Lord. So alive was his love for the salvation of souls, and his thirst to win them over to God. Who, no longer having the strength to walk, went around the countryside on the back of a small donkey. Often his brethren with gentle insistence invited him to restore his sick and too weak body a little with medical care, but he, whose spirit was continually turned towards heaven, declined the invitation each time, since he only wanted to be freed from the body to be with Christ. Sources 490. So he used Brother Donkey, borrowed for the trip to La Verna, and his return through Borgo San Sepolcro. United in the gentleness that united them. Take, eat, this, my body. Matthew 21 verses 1 to 11, Mark 11 verses 1 to 10, Luke 19 verses 28 to 40, John 12 verses 12 to 16. Thank you all for your kind attention. We invite you to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our activities. If you liked it, leave a well done to support us. Subscribe, give your precious like, share with your friends, and comment too. Thank you, join us. And see you soon.